Welcome to Auntie Chats and Tarot. Today we have a chat, and my Auntie chat is about Reiki. Now, I studied, and I'm a certified Reiki instructor, or I should say practitioner, and I really love this element. So much of my chats, I try and concentrate on, hey, let's think outside of the box, how we can help ourselves health-wise, holistic healing, maybe herbal medicines, acupuncture. I did a few weeks ago. Let's think outside of the box if we can with our health issues, and maybe just not add another pill to a series of pills we're taking. It doesn't work for everybody, may work for a lot of people, but I'm just making the suggestion that when I do Reiki, this is it's energy healing. So I will go over the body, maybe just being about an inch or two off the body, and in some cases I am touching different areas that I feel. Sometimes I'll feel heat, or I'll feel a blackness. I've seen colors, and I use the different symbols. That's part of the Reiki traditional energy work. Been around for a very long time. I find it very eye-opening to do. Some of the things that I've experienced, I've worked with a gentleman who was in ICU. Not a fun place. This guy was not happy. He wasn't happy to see me. He wasn't happy that the family had suggested this alternative thought on his medical state. And I hung in there with him. And I'll tell you what, he went from grumpy to zenned out and falling asleep. And his family had told me they hadn't seen him this calm in a long time. And he was really struggling with his sleep. And he was getting a sound sleep from what we could see. And according to his daughter, it was a state that she hadn't seen him in a very long time. I worked on him for about an hour, and I felt different areas within him that were kind of black and sticky feeling, but it's different with all people. And if you talk to other Reiki practitioners, I've heard different people say, yes, I saw like a fish in somebody's belly, and we had this conversation. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I like all that stuff. I haven't experienced that personally. I see more sticky colors, or bright colors, like areas that are good and flowing, and then others that are like clogged up. Part of the thinking and theories behind Reiki is that when you are clogged up with this energy, or holding on to things that have hurt you over the years, that can clog up your energy flow. So consider this, if you will, because I've been meditating on this for a while now, and I think there's something to this, and I know people definitely think there's something to this. So consider it, that when you have pain, this could be emotional crud you're just carrying around, and it's stuck energy that's coming out as pain. That's what the Reiki does, is get that energy flowing again. I've also done distant Reiki with a few people, and that is a thing. And I've heard from people on the other side of the country, look, this area started hurting more. Shouldn't you be easing the pain? But in actuality, in this instance in particular, this person did have a lot of blockages, and I believe working that area, even using the distant Reiki, helped circulation happen there that initially started to feel to that person like pain because there hadn't been a flow there. So sometimes Reiki can come out in different ways. Most of the time I've seen it be very calming for someone. Now, in this person's instance, who was across the country and I was doing the distant Reiki, he initially found pain with what I was sending, But as we worked on it over days, there was a release there. So again, I do think about, like a limb or an area that you're not using, or even neuropathy. I've helped people with neuropathy issues who say, I haven't felt this area, and now I'm feeling pain, but it's just getting that energy through there maybe for the first couple of times that feels strange to somebody. And then because of the flow, healing can take place. Maybe the flow that's been clogged up, it's what is giving kind of an angst feeling or a feeling of pain, because it's necessary to get the flow there. I think too, you can consider this. A lot of people want to hang on to their pain. Why, you ask? It's different for everybody. You'd think, yes, people want to release their pain. Not all the time. In some instances, people's identities are attached to their pain. So I know on this channel, I encourage a lot of meditation. And if you're not into that, then I encourage quieting your mind. Get somewhere where you can be quiet and quiet that mind. Don't let the mind run amok and control you. You control that narrative. And make sure some of that narrative is just zip it, nothing, quiet. And ask yourself what you're identifying with. Because we never want to be a victim. And sometimes we might not even know that about ourselves. You get to quieting your mind. You get to know yourself better. You're going to see a lot of things that you miss when you rush around throughout life. We always want to be a victor. So do look into Reiki. It's, it's an eye-opening experience, I think you'll find. And it takes about an hour, typically, for someone to do a session. Ask them what they find, what they see. Be inquisitive. You will more than likely fall asleep during it. So be aware of what you're experiencing and what you're feeling and what's coming up. A lot of people describe it to me as, afterwards, that just feels like I got a massage. And I will have not really touched them all that much. So that's how powerful the motion of the energy can be. And definitely they have a sense of like a release that you'd feel after a long, or let's say an hour and 20-minute session in a massage situation. So yeah, I really encourage it. I've found great things both having it done to me and doing it to others. So I wanted to definitely make a Auntie chat about it. I encourage you to look into it. And if you like it already, I encourage you to keep with it and stay with it and do it regularly. I think there's a lot of health benefits to it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you to those who have contributed to this channel, like, shares, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And until our next chat, I just wish you well, remembering who we are always and remembering our self-worth. Thanks for joining me today.